mute that. There we go, that's unmuted it. Interesting, thought I'd press that. Maybe I pressed it twice. How are you all doing? Hello everyone, good evening. I hope you're all doing well. Back for another Wednesday night, and a bit of a departure from what we've been doing the last few weeks, which was Roadcraft and Truck World Australia, but I've been spending a little bit of time on the map lately, and I thought let's get on and have a little bit of a play on it, because short of about an hour ploughing a field and mucking around, I haven't actually played on it. So I thought we'd just jump in and do a few little things on one part of the map. So we're here at this farm. This is over on the western side, and I've got a few little bits and pieces set up, and we're going to go give it a go. So we'll get into it very soon. But welcome along, Ollie. How you doing, mate? Sorry to keep you up late. Going to go to bed early, but now you've got to see this. How you doing, Elder? Good to see you, mate. Amon, good morning to you. Good evening. How are you? Good to have you here. So on the map, we're up over here. This is the top left-hand corner. Up in here, this is kind of what I don't know, calling the dairy farm, because this is where I put my dairy farm, my cow shed that I've been working on. So there is basically what's going to be a little herringbone cow shed. Pasture out the back, and that's what that's going to be. And I've added some cattle yards in here as well, which actually exist in real life. There are some cattle yards there in a shed, so I'm trying to be a little bit consistent with it. But yeah, this yard, what does this yard have? So I've got the one big shed here, got a fully enclosed shed, obviously just one of the base game sheds. Around this side, got the Arctic Gaming pole sheds, which I'm hoping are going to be released this week, if testing can go as well as I hope. That's the 4-bay version with the object storage in at the end. Then this is just a sort of giant's barn. Use it for whatever. Kind of a little bit out of keeping with New Zealand style, but you do see the odd one of those around, so they're not completely foreign. And then a couple of silage bunkers, which we're going to test those out. I want to make sure I've got those functioning as silage bunkers. I think they should, because when you stand in it, it gives you the fill level and compacting level percentage. So that is what we're going to test out today. Lime and fertilizer bunkers there as well. I've actually put together a map vlog, devlog, that I'm going to put out later in the week, which looks at the different farmyards. So farmyard up here in the top left corner, the green one up there, and this farmyard here, as well as some areas in here, down here, and then in here, which you could build your own farms in if you wanted to. So that is the plan. Anyhow, I'm going to jump up here in the 728. We're going to go mow some grass just for a little bit of a start. So I'm going to head over this way. So part of what I want to do when I'm testing this is how do the roots feel? Do I have the texturing right? So I already know I've kind of got the grass in the middle there. That's kind of a bit big, and the sort of the patches here. But all in all, like, you know, I might actually put a bit of detail when I detail this farm, as I want to have a bit of like tires and that stacked up there. But it's just looking at things like how's the width of the grass through here? Is that kind of realistic for having vehicles running down it? Is the slope on the track appropriate? Those kind of things. Is there tree branches you're going to clip with the mower? So I thought, just jump in and have a go at that. Is the bridge wide enough? And will it hold the weight of a tractor? Yes, of course it will. So we've got a couple of fields here we're going to mow. Might go mow one over the other side. I found one before. Oops, I've got engine stop start turned on, which we're going to turn off. And grass probably isn't grown fully either. But it is what it is. Right. So let's get this unfolded. This mower is on Mod Hub. We're going to make sure our working mode is set to swath dropping. Here we go. Let's see with that. Oops. That all unfolded. Should be able to lower that down. Cut that up, lower that down. We're going to get some swaths of grass, which we can come and pick up with a loading wagon. So these are just base meadow. They're not ploughed defined fields. They're just grass. So at the moment you can come in and obviously mow them like we are, or if you wanted to plough them up, you could. If you wanted to put an animal pasture down in here, you could do that too. So some of the things I want to figure out, when I first actually mowed these fields, I had an issue where there was a mask stopping tipping. So it was blocking tipping, so you'd go along and suddenly the swath would just stop, and then you'd end up with a big pile of grass, and dropped once you got a bit further along. So it was all interesting. Yeah, yeah, and otherwise just seeing how the fields work. Hey, doing Aussie Dan, good to see you. Nismo, it is freezing, mate. I've been feeling the cold the last few days, actually. Must be getting old. That's what I'll put it down to anyhow. Yeah, Joran, how you doing? Good to see you. Thank you. Yeah, there's a few things I want to change the fence. I don't like these Giants ones. I know they're kind of appropriate, but I kind of need to change them up, I think. That's also in the works. No, I haven't been over it yet, Ollie. I was going to do it on the weekend, but just change of plans meant we didn't get the opportunity, so just save that for another day. Definitely get the chance to at some stage. In fact, we'll be going to the Hawke's Bay in about 3 weeks, so I'll definitely get to do it then if we don't do it beforehand. Hey, Kiwi Gaming, how you doing? Good to see you, mate. Thank you for those nice words. It's getting there. Slowly but surely getting there. I just thought, as I said, to take the chance to actually get in and have a bit of a play on it, because it's something I haven't really done yet. Let's see how it all goes. Sure things are working. So some things you don't figure out until you actually play them. Some things look good in Giants Editor and they've completely lost all their textures, or just don't want to work in game either. It's also quite hard to pick up terrain smoothing, so I'm just sort of watching as the tractor drives around here. I actually don't mind how much it's just sort of bouncing around a little bit. Might be a little bit rough in here, but to me that's kind of what you'd almost expect in a grass field. So maybe had some cattle grazing in it. Interesting deal with Roadcraft. It lost your save game. It was still in the folder and couldn't get to load again, so needed to... Oh no, that's no fun. That sucks. I managed to find the save game locations and duplicate one to be able to get my progress to save between two different files. It kind of worked. The flyovers don't do it justice. I can imagine. I can imagine. Need to do a big cotton harvest. Good to see you, Randy. The funny part is it's all the little things I still need to do which are going to take the time, like the decoration. Like how far do I go? This is a good question actually. And I know it's something that came out of DJ Modding's map. Judith's Plains was how customizable do you want, or how much control do you want? Do players like to have over farms? Like, do you want to? There's two trains of thought. One, the buildings are the buildings, and if you want to build a farmyard, you find a field to do it in, and that's it. Or do you want to be able to remove the buildings, or remove some buildings, and be able to change them? Or, you know, what about decoration? Do you like being able to hide decoration or to delete decoration or something? Like, just interesting trains of thought with all of that. I thought that should have lifted it all up, but I pressed the wrong button. Go mowing in cab, it's alright. Pick that up reasonably well. Good thing is I already knew how to do the first two maps, so flew through them starting on Incommunicado instead of Sunken this time anyway. Nice. Yeah, I need to get back to doing some. Farm some today, nice. Yeah, it's good to have some variety, right? That's what I'm really enjoying actually at the moment, is playing some different games I wouldn't ordinarily have potentially had the opportunity to play or taken the time to play. And Architect Simulator is going to be one of those, because, you know, how can I not play Architect Simulator, or Architect's Life, as it's called? A travesty to be an architect and not play it. And I'm hoping my friends at Games Planet have hooked me up with a key for it too, so bonus for that. You like the ability to remove the buildings, and sometimes you want less and more open space, sometimes you want to move them. Fair enough. this yard, like this farmyard here, has quite a bit of space around it, and like that's done deliberately because it might seem strange, but often you'll find, and I think most of the farms around this area have these kind of spaces which are just not used as farm, if you want. You know what I'm talking about, Ollie. You kind of have these big areas where it's just space, just how it's used. Don't mind having a base to start from scratch, but normally build your own. That's fair enough, Elder. You might feel different about it if it's a New Zealand map though, right? Hey Holden, how you doing? Good to see you. Hey Bo, evening mate. Mark, hello to you. Good to see you. A bit slow on the lowering there. Take Lady Hill for example. It's around 6 farm locations on the map, and other map buildings are placeables except for the silos. Right. So the way, as I understand it, I'm obviously new to this process largely, but Giants have changed the way placeables are done, or there's a new methodology for doing placeables which uses a script and is meant to sort of do them much more automatically and bring everything in the crew, but it doesn't seem to be working very well. Surprise, surprise. Alright, let's fold everything up. We'll get on through into the next one. I'd like to be able to remove the building also like real life business in the towns. Cool. How's that engine start? Change that setting. The travesty got made in the first place. What are you talking about, Bo? What did I say? I'm losing my train of thought. Unfold that one, unfold that one, power that on, lower that down. Junk everywhere. Certainly is. Alright. Smash this one out. Love the option to remove those and be able to put your own mark on. Yeah, so the part of the idea is like, it's not uncommon in New Zealand, like you have smaller fields like this, right? And they're grass, and this is kind of how we farm, but you might get, like this fence here, for example, you might come through and that would be demolished, and you take that fence out through the middle, and then if you were going to make this a maize crop, for example, you might take that fence out, plough the whole thing up, make it one field, and then come back and when you've regrassed it, reseeded and put a new fence. Now you wouldn't have a fence that had posts at 2 or 3 metre centres, they'd be spaced out and you'd have your wires spanning a whole lot more. But yeah, it's kind of how things are done here. You don't have big fields. So that's something I'm mindful of. Actually, I just see there I've got the textures, I need to bring that gravel texture out. So there's still fences to do. Put in along the road here. I'm going to get too close to the edge as well now. But yeah, there should be a fence obviously along this boundary, running pretty much down about this line. So those shrubs and everything would be on the fence side. In fact, you can probably just see where that fence post is sticking out there for that one. Be about where the fence is. So that's something I need to sort out. Buildings are spaced in random spots with loads of chunk and rubbish around. Oh, it is. It's exactly what it's like, Kiwi. Okay, Ben, how you doing? Good evening. Oh, cartoonist sim. Get out of here. You're going to be blown away. You're going to wish you were an architect. Winchester is where Radagear is made, isn't it? Bingo. That right there is the Rada factory. Right there. So that's my shop. That's my farm shop in there. So you've got a spawn point out the front where everything comes in. And then this out the back's actually Barker's Jams, which is headquartered in Geraldine, just down the road. But for some reason, I've got a warehouse there. I haven't been able to figure out what that warehouse is for. But yep, Rada farm equipment's all right there. Tire marks and ground stands. Yeah, that'll be the last thing I do, I think. Adding some of that detail. But I've actually put in, zoom out, probably might drive out here in a second, but this farm entrance has a cattle stop at the front, but at the moment there's obviously too much space around the outside and I've got to either scale it down or maybe put a fence to narrow it down at those points. So I haven't figured out exactly how I'm going to tidy that up yet. It actually has two if you look at it on Google Street View, an old one and a newer one. We might just use some artistic license and just show one. Split paddocks up for winter grazing, single wire fences. Yeah, there's lots of different ways it can be done, right? 100%. If there was custom New Zealand fences, they'd be in the map. They'd have to be in the map to be part of the map. In fact, I'd probably do them as a placeable and try and release them separately so they would become a dependent mod effectively. So one of the things I need to do going this way is in the horizon there you should get a glorious view on a day like today of the Southern Alps. In February they'd have a little bit of snow up on the top, not a huge amount, a little bit of white, but more ice up in the glaciers, but generally speaking it would look very rocky, so I don't know if I'd go to the effort of changing them for the different times of year. Definitely that would be the view you'd have. So now I'm just trying to find a decent image that I could use for that. Very hard when you've got a mountain range that's hundreds of kilometers long and visible from a long way away to try and get it in there and looking good, but I'm sure I'll figure something out. How's the ground deformation aspect been for me? In terms of ground deformation in the map, it's all based on the texture that you use. So I painted some sand down in one area and actually the ground deformation is huge. I didn't realize sand, it makes sense. I didn't actually notice that sand had such a big ground deformation. But yeah, it seems to be working. It should just work as per base game. It's nothing that I needed to change or fiddle around with. Hey Andre, 100%, yep. 100% will be doing this for PC and console. Always been my dream. I started out as a console gamer. I still game on console quite a bit, but my first farm sim was FS19 on PlayStation. Actually, when it came out on PS Plus as a free game, that's what I got me into it. Always wanted to try it out, but just never got around to it. That was the chance to, so still dead keen to get back into give back to console players as well. Wow, Smith 97 gaming for 50. Nah, no, I haven't. Kiwi gaming. Part of this whole deal in doing this was I wanted to learn the process to do it. So I have actually built a fence. I don't think I've got it in here at the moment. So I've got a fence that's partly working. It was meant to be a 7-wire post and batten fence, but I could get the wires deforming with the ground slope, but I couldn't get the fences to move, the battens to move. So if I show you, see if I can find an image of it. I've got it screenshotted somewhere. Right. Where is it? be in here? What's where in here? No, I can't see them right off the bat. Thought I'd be able to find them quite easily. I'll do that. So that's a fence there, but as you can see, this one had the wires going in crooked directions and the batten stayed horizontal. But if I done here, pressed a button and it changed my scene. But yeah, you can see that one's got all the wires on this from this side going the right way, but the batten stayed horizontal. But if you look at it from the other side, the wires are tearing in one direction, and yeah, I haven't quite figured out how to do it yet. But that's a kind of work in progress. Light snowcaps year round for the Alps would look good. That was my thinking, so it's a case of finding a good image for that elder. Rapid numbers on fences and entrance and give the farmyards names with farm signs at the gate. So I need to be careful about doing anything that's too personalised, like addresses or anything. Or at least mindful of that, Ollie, but yeah, that's something could be done. Hey Nathan, Barker's Warehouse is the distribution point, the manufacturing offices are in Pleasant Valley and the home farm West Geraldine. Thank you. There we go. So my plan is to make it a sell point for the map. Right. Well, let's head on back over here. So there's one more field I was going to mow for now. And then we'll get to picking some of this up with the pickup wagon. Good to have some inside knowledge, Nathan. The other thing I want to do is, obviously these gates aren't very, can't see them through the map, but those gates aren't very New Zealandish. But Oxygen David was talking about releasing his gates and hedges from Calmston Farms or Oakbridge, and they would be much more appropriate. So I did have plans to try and build my own, but if he was going to do that, I'll probably go and just make use of those. So we'll see. A bump there, might have to smooth that out a touch. No, I don't actually mind that grass just there. It's a bit of a farmhouse hanging out just there. Hey Karina, thank you very much for the sub. And then we've kind of got this little track which goes down this way into this field here. It's the last one we're going to mow. Just a ditch there. I'm just trying to decide whether to replace these. At the moment there's nothing in these ditches, I just painted with mud. Get that sort of water effect on the paint down in there. There's nothing really in them. In fact, if you really want to look up there, it's completely blocked. But kind of toying with the idea of setting them up with the giant streams, the moving streams. But I kind of feel as well that the flow rate on those is just a little bit too high, really, for what should be a bit of a meandering, slow-moving stream. So I don't know. Walnut Flats, yeah, I'd seen that. I saw that on the sign. Oops. Oh, that's what I forgot there, tree. Okay. Yeah, I saw the Walnut Flats sign on the white gate, so at the front there I've got the, you might have seen there's a white gate on the side of the side of the gates. Be good to be able to game on a New Zealand style map. Well, that's what I was hoping, Andre. That's what I was hoping. So, still need to put a fence down here. For whatever reason, I've missed that one out. I think I might actually have to sort something out in terms of access for this field. Either has to be through this one or off the road. And then this one here on the right, I don't have any access into it all. So, we won't be able to do anything with that. What's going on with the traffic? I've had this happen a couple of times actually, where traffic's gone out to pass and it's got completely stuck. Let's go into a bit of a reset. I've been working on power lines today too. Earlier this evening. Trying to get some power poles and that sorted out. Cheers, Kiwi Gaming. Brian, how you doing? Am I going to make a custom soil map for precision farming? Yeah, definitely. That is definitely on the cards. So at the moment it's just got, I'll show you, because I have got precision farming installed on this. At the moment it just has a blanket precision farming map. So what I want to do is, I'm trying to think the best way to do it, but kind of around the river. Kind of maybe follow the river for more fertile soils, and then as it gets further away make it less fertile, or maybe the other way around. Maybe the silty clay should be closer to the river and the sandier loams and the loams might be further away, or maybe it's loamy sand immediately next to the river and then we get silty clays and then loam and sand loams, I don't know. But because we've got the main river there, there's little streams through here, there's a stream down the middle, and the stream over here is kind of some good opportunities to be able to use those as some guides for what the soil type should be. That's what I was thinking anyhow. As long as that hadn't auto shut once placed. That was a game setting, and I'm pretty sure that there was one of the patches for the game that's been released meant that gates kept their status. Pretty sure that happened. But it would have happened with any gate, any animated gate that's used as a fence would reset. Stagnant water look in the ditch actually works. That's not bad, eh? Not bad. What, you've forgotten to put gates in, Bo? In real life? Some things you should admit to and some things you shouldn't. Ah, fire away, Ollie. That's working on power lines. Ah, right. I like the idea that you forgot to put gates in more though. Yeah, all good, Ollie. So I've got satellite yards around the map. I'll show you a couple of those. I'll finish mowing this field and then we'll go have a look, a couple of spots. I'm undecided on woolshed at the moment. And I actually, someone liked a Facebook page and it popped up on my post, on my feed today of, I'm not going to even be able to remember it now, but it's a station 25 minutes away from Hunterville. And I had a look and I thought, could that be the New Zealand sheep farm map? So I don't know, maybe once this one's done I'll move on to something like that. The beauty of that would be very simple to do. I say that. It wouldn't have a huge amount of complexity with custom models and things because it's so far out in the WIPs, it's just it's some steep ground with some forestry, some goat tracks cut into the side of the hill, a whole lot of sheep sort of places. But it's also got a river through the middle, which sort of has some flattish looking fields around it, so you could use that for some grass or arable land or something. So that might be something to think about. If I get this one finished and still have the desire to build maps, that could be the next one. Anyhow, cheers everyone. Enjoying a coconut whiskey tonight, local one. And I still need to go out and select a bottle with that those generous donations from Chinook and Yan and everyone else who contributed around my birthday last week. Thank you all very much. Hello, Cher. How you doing? Great to see you. But my desired aim is to get this side of the river finished. So the river's over where those trees are and basically follows the trees down and around. And it basically, if we just have a look here, it's this corner of the map. I figured if I could get that finished off, that would actually set me up really well, because there's a whole lot I'd have to do in here, like power lines, like road signs and roadside markers and AI splines for fields and all those kind of things. It would be a good way to make sure my processes and methodology was working correctly before I embarked on the rest of the map and tackling all of those challenges. Because that could take a wee while to sort out. Yeah, Clover and Lucerne. So I have, without success so far. They don't show up, do they? No, they don't show up there, but they show up in here. I've got alfalfa, clover, alfalfa hay, clover hay, those things. So DJ Modding, I was chatting to him the other day with what he's done on Judith Plains, and asked him if he'd mind if I used a few of his things out of his map, and he said, go for it, take anything you want out of the map. So I was having a look about trying to possibly at least add, I don't want anhydrous, I don't want corn stalks, soybean straw, those kind of things, but I did want to try and add at least alfalfa and clover. It'd be white clover, but give those as some options. The other thing I'd love to do would be add in rye as a crop that could be used to make grass seed. Then like keep the whole swathing and that, pick up headers, that kind of thing could be a option as well, but I'll have to wait and see. It may be that could be a little bit too hard and might be, I don't know how that would go down with giants. I do know that there's maps on console that have added crops and multi-fruit and that sort of stuff, so I don't see it being an issue, but certainly on the list of things to do. You gotta take your cat to the vet later. Ah, which cat's that, Cher? Just for a checkup, I hope. Oh, I'd love to be able to walk animals. Actually actively go and open a gate and have to move them. Oops, that's the front, back miles. I want to lift the front one up. Now, what am I doing? Pressing all the wrong buttons. Lift that up, turn it off, fold those. Right, so there we go. That's us mode. So we're 3 fields in. This would be really typical of New Zealand. You'd have 3 fields like this and probably that 4th one shut up for silage. And you'd come in and you'd just see these fields all around that are completely covered now. The temptation, and what I'm actually going to do, the temptation is to just cut across there. I'm actually going to put a fence around this edge and tie it in with the cattle yards. Just to remove that temptation to completely cut the corner. if someone wants to, they can take the fence out. That's the whole idea with them. So, right, let's just bowl this straight into the shed. There. Routine vaccines and health checks. Nice. Right, I said, Ollie, I would go and show you those couple of areas. So if I jump over to, let's go to field 52. So over here, let's just put on a running modifier. See devs here. So here, which is right here on the map, and if you zoom in, there's a little bit of a cattle yard and what looks like a little bunker or something there. I've been taking a lot of artistic license in this side of the map, but this is basically an area I've said you could set up a farm. So we've got cattle yards, another silage bunker over the other side. In fact, let's go into the sky. Right in there. So this is somewhere you could set up a farmyard. So this is Rada farm equipment. This is the vehicle spawn area. And then this Barker's Jams, which I'm going to have as somehow as a sell point. I don't know whether it might be a drive-through I put into the shed, or whether you just come up and is it just a sell point out the front here. I might be just a sell point out the front there for the early map, just for simplicity's sake, so I don't have to go and model the interior of a building. Likewise with this, I don't know how far I might go with modeling interior and that, but we'll see. Anyhow, I've got this random kind of stockyards there, and then there's also a random silage pit down the back here amongst all these pastures. And then if you come over the other side here, another just random stockyard. So if someone wanted, you could build a farm in this field up around here, because you've kind of got this track which leads in. You got these gates that come in off the main road. So definitely some potential to do that. I like your idea of, what did you say for the sign? I did read your message. Oh, yeah, could do too. Right. Looks alright. Looks pretty good. I like that. Right. Routine vax and health checks. Ah, there we go. Good. Thank you, Share. I'm pretty happy with how it's all turning out. Up close to the river, it's that god awful blue clay as there are springs everywhere and it's wet as hell, been bogged up to my eyeballs multiple times in trucks and spreaders all through here. There we go. All the local knowledge. Well, that's good to know. That explains why there's so many of these creeks and everything that sort of scatter the countryside. It's precision farming. Terrible quality soils around the ditches, which it probably explains why there's such a in the actual, look at all this wasteland that's effectively through here, because this is all probably swampsy bog springs and things like that, is it? All down through here, like there's such a tract of land through there that's not farmed. And then all around here is kind of very wasty looking ground. Makes a bit of sense now. In fact, you look at all the streams, there's quite a bit of dead land around them. Makes sense. I like seeing a work in progress. Well, I'm pleased to hear that, Share. I promise it won't remain a work in progress. Have my word. G'day GH Productions, how you doing? It's just a standard map, 2 km by 2 km. It's my intention is for it to be on console as well as PC for everyone to enjoy. Not quite sure about the American school buses, but kind of limited with traffic options. In fact, I need to go back and double check. Do the Hootan Pantai vehicles drive on the left hand side of the road? They have right-hand drive vehicles in there. Maybe I have to grab all the vehicles out of that map. It might be more appropriate with all our Japanese imported vehicles that we have in New Zealand. a berry crop that you could harvest with great harvest. It would be pretty good for jam production. That would be good. It would be cool. There's going to be 3 pre-made farms, Andre. So this one, which will have a cow shed on it. This might be the only one that has animals built into it at this stage. And then there's 2 more on the other side of the town, plus a whole lot of the sort of small ones scattered around too. So hopefully some good options for people. But also at the same time, plenty of space around the yards to be able to add to and build on. All right. Dad, this is actually a New Zealand whiskey called Pocono, which I bought a bottle over to FarmCon last year with me. Because we all, it's a little bit tricky, isn't it? All the content creators we were with, all the partners, we all took a bottle of whiskey from our local region and shared that across a couple of 3 nights. Made for some interesting evenings, I must admit, but yeah, that was my offering. Alright, let's have a look. So hopefully this is all going to turn into chaff. Go through here, there we go, looks pretty good. I had no reason to doubt it because this is a base game bunker. But also very Kiwi way of levelling silage bunkers with a JCB wheel loader and a buck rake on the front. You did about 100 hectares of root clover into a cutting into silage and baleage off it, then the paddock is used for lambs. Yeah, interesting. You'd think I would have learnt my lesson and not had a narrow little bridge with water either side of it, right? The good thing about this map is the rivers have stop bank. The main river has stop banks either side of it. And normally you'd think of stop banks there to stop the floodwater coming out of it. These are to stop Argsy going into it. The original reason for stop banks. I'll go and show you in a second, Andre. Get this load done and then I'll show you my cow shed, which is a work in progress, but it is a custom one. For better or worse, I have bit the bullet in custom making some buildings. Not too many, just ones that I think are kind of key to the character of the map. Places like the sort of big buildings in the middle of the map, which are the currently route of farm equipment and Barker's jams and kind of the warehousing in there, as well as some of the some of the buildings in the middle of town. There's actually a big old, anyone local would know, there's a big old grain mill tower. Used to be a water-driven grain mill. Is there a reason there's no great game sound? Should be game sound. You can see it. You can see it playing. Turned it up. Is it more obvious now? It'll just be a placeable. I don't believe there's any functionality in farm sim at the moment, and certainly it's way above my pay grade to make it a functioning cow shed, but I will try and have the nav mesh so the cows can walk around in the in the shed and things like that, but I'll go and dump this and I'll show it to you. I'd love to make it where it would work. Not too disappointed with the width of those tracks. I kind of might need to fine tune them a little bit. Oops, I forgot where I was going. Let's go look at the cow shed first then. I did get a combine and was going to go and harvest that wheat field if we got through all of this, but I don't know if we would. Right, so you have to excuse it because it's still a work in progress. It's not finished. I've got some bases that are facing the wrong way and things like that, but this is my cow shed. There's also no collisions on it, so use your imagination as I go up in here. Okay, here we go. So this will be our... Oops, I'm going to have to bump that speed down. Turn that off. Oh, that didn't change it. Oh, because I'm on flight mode. I hate that they've changed this in 25, and one of the recent updates they made it that when you're flying you go faster. See? I don't know why it doesn't stay the same speed. Anyhow, this is going to be the milk vat, so your milk trigger will be here, but what I want to do is put a roller door in this opening, and when the door's closed the milk trigger is not visible, and when you open the door the trigger becomes visible. So you actually have to open it, expose the vat, and that will allow you to collect your milk. You can obviously come up the stairs, up into the milk room. Then you've got stairs which go back down this way. Again, need to fix a whole lot of things. And then you're into the milking parlour. Once again, excuse the lack of collisions, because it doesn't have the ground terrain underneath deforms to be able to not be visible when you're looking in the pit. But basically you can come down the stairs and we can have our milking pit down here. I've modelled some clusters, milking clusters there. And then you can come up the other end, up around here. And you've kind of got your little yard area, the walk behind gate there, backing gate for them. I need to put some wheels and drive motor in that on this end, but that's probably won't be animated in any way. Out here, right about here, I'm just going to put a little in-ground slurry tank, so you'll be able to come and get slurry from the cow shed. Basically, yeah, my idea is that cows will be able to walk all up and through there and all down around the back. I want to have this area here, which I've painted. This would be where the feed would be, and kind of like, you know, in New Zealand when we feed silage out in the field, it just goes on the ground and the cows eat it. That's the kind of idea there. So there'd be a bit of a trigger following this. But the idea will be to make this replaceable, so you can potentially use it on other maps. Water, there's no need for water, because obviously I'm just going to treat it like it's plumbed. Water to the field, so you don't have to top everything up. And then somewhere, probably here, or maybe here, there'll just be a trigger for animals. I'm not sure. It would be kind of cool to put the animal trigger for the cow shed over here at this loading race for the cattle yards, but it might be a bit too remote and also not work with my whole. I want it to be a placeable, considering it being a placeable as well. So yeah, that's all that all works. Cattle yards are a bit different to the other ones. Yeah, that's all what I've got set up there. Harrison's Mill there, and the farm around it on the east side of the river main road up to Waihi School, Seastone, Weir, Ryder and Baker. So, okay. Interesting. Any of these on release date? Before the end of the year is my aim, Andre. Before the end of the year. Part of the reason I'm sharing it with you guys now and did a preview of it and everything like that is I wanted people to keep on asking. Because that is kind of the motivation to hear, you know, people wanting it, people loving what it is, and that enthusiasm for it helps with the motivation. So keep hassling me, keep harassing me. I won't be upset. Right. There we go, we're picking up. Sounds like it. Hear that flicking at the back. Right. Might have to tap into your local knowledge, Nathan. You might be able to get me some photos. Road system looks great for an auto drive course. I hope it will be. I hope it will be. That'll be one of the other things I want to do, is have a auto drive course completed and available for it when it's released. Got some good people in the community who are pretty proficient at generating auto drive courses, so let's see what we can come up with. The problem is I keep on adding ideas. Like, I wrote something down today. I thought, oh, that'd be cool. Maybe I could do that. Like, you know how there's the buildable the constructibles, like you can build the sheds and things like that. I had the idea of like simulating a washout in the stop bank, and you actually had to bring stones and gravel to repair it and rebuild it. So that might be something I do. I want to use the Terra farm where you can define the materials in a map and actually have like gravel extraction down in the river. So for PC players who might be using Terra farm, they could actually have defined areas where they can get gravel out of. What else is there? A big long list of stuff. It just keeps getting longer. What did I add to it today? Oh, I saw that BC Bueller's done his reskin trains. I was like, oh, I wonder if I could paint, like, not using the Kiwi Rail logo because that won't be kosher. Giants won't like that, but actually using the colour scheme without the logo and just colouring a train to look like a Kiwi Rail train. And I want to customise the train. I don't want to have I won't have logging on it, but we'll see. See how it all goes. So, what else is there? Want to get some bird sounds like pukekos, so maybe when you're driving near one of the rivers or streams or creeks, you might hear a pukeko squawk. Maybe out in the middle of the field, you might hear some spear-winged plovers screeching, or maybe a magpie. You drive through some trees and you hear a magpie. Those are adding sounds, apart from having sourced the sounds, adding a sound into the map's pretty simple, from what I understand. Put in a location it is and then almost define the distance away that you hear it from. It's going to be fun. Might have to get the wheel loader out and give us a little bit of a flatten off. Anyone else notice we're using a Deutz-Fahr Lamborghini tractor? And we chuckle watching Clarkson's Farms and seeing his new Lamborghini. That's not a Lamborghini. Who are you kidding? But basically, just looking at my list, so this side of the river I've got some fences to add, decorations around the farmyard, decorating the houses, power lines, road markings and road signs, the cow pasture, basically going around and checking the width of the tracks and things like that, adding the texture and detail to those, doing the AI splines, and then whether I change the stream or not. Kind of at the moment I'm thinking I'll probably leave it how it is. So, possums that come out at night. The only sound you'd hear about a possum in New Zealand's the rifle taking it out. Fortunately, New Zealand doesn't have a love affair with possums quite the same way Australia does. Ostriches or alpacas? Well, they're not. We do have them in New Zealand, farmed in New Zealand, but not a common sound. Gee. Hey Richard, how you doing? That looks great. Loving the fenced off riparian plantings around the drains. Know the area well. Definitely looking forward to playing this map. Nice one. I'm pleased to hear it. Yeah, I am going to change the fences. The more I play it, the more I look at them and go, nowhere in New Zealand has fences with posts that close together. Isn't there a protected bird in New Zealand that destroys cows if people don't feed them? Yes, there is. Kia's farmer tie. Curious little parrots that even if you fed them, they'd probably still go at your car. They'll rip the seals out and break aerials off. Very inquisitive birds. We also don't have deer that just pop up in fields quite like this. Well, maybe on the edge of some of the forested areas, edge of national parks and forest parks, but certainly not some little farmland like that. More than willing to get your photos if you like. Any chance you can put a Land Cruiser in your house for you on the map just for fun. we can do something. I'd have to make sure it was something that was console compatible. That's the only thing. One of the best exports to New Zealand. Yeah, there's not much good things that come out of Australia. Warfoot had heaps of deer problems, he did. High country sheep farmers probably have more issues than down in these kind of areas. His issues were actually more that farmed, like the can't remember his neighbour's name now. We actually farmed a deer. And the Bloom Murphys tried to poach them. Morepork sound would be good. Oh yeah, the Morepork could be a good night sound, wouldn't it? Good suggestion, Philip. What happened to the game sound? Why you couldn't hear it? It's a bit strange. Right, what do you reckon we're going to get a little bit out of this field next door? Right. Try something a little bit different out of this one. And check out the gates at the other end. I know there's no fence, but technically, go down here. A bit of a tight turn, but these white gates should open. These are the ones that have the farm sign on it. Those are Walnut Flats. Yeah. Right, I'm just gonna cheekily jump where there's no fence. I think there isn't one. Oh, the other thing is I haven't managed to get the collisions working on this properly, so there's actually a big hole in the hole there at the moment because the for whatever reason the cattle grate won't stop. So I think I need to just tweak this one. I'm actually quite happy with the width of this. I just need to tweak this left hand side and get the painting for the gravel, but that's actually working out quite well. Happy with that one. Slightly bigger bridge up here. Yeah, this track's not too bad. G'day Grant, how are you doing? Good to see you, welcome. I'm in from this direction this time. Through without getting stuck. I think we're stuck. Ugh. Come on. Time for some compaction. What do you think? Let's have a look. What have we got in there? 170,000 litres. About right. Did we get some spillage? I think probably just then, did we? Oh no, managed to stay in. That's good. So what do we have each load? 44,000, isn't it? So 4 loads, 160, 176. So it's a little bit missing somewhere. Oh, crash counter. There should be a fence around that field too. Sure, I've done that fence. Anyhow. Oh, yeah, Cooch. Cooch had the. Well, they both had them, but the Murphy boys kept on trying to poach them. They had the helicopter, and they wanted to capture the. He tried to capture the. Oh goodness. Was it his buck? Stag. That's what I'm looking for. As soon as you see it, it will get a course done for it within a day or so of the map's release. Nice. It's been interesting. I've been watching some of the conversation around map testing and map development and using PC early release, like through itch.io or something like that. I see Oxygen David's talking about doing it that way before he releases it for console to iron out all those bugs. What'll be interesting, actually, just thinking out loud about that, is often the bugs that appear on console don't happen for PC players. So, while you might iron out some of the bugs and only have to go through Giants testing once and not have to resubmit and go through testing for updates, likelihood of picking everything up is pretty slim. Such a good movie, right, Jason? I love Foot Rot Flats. If you haven't seen the Foot Rot Flats movie, cannot recommend it highly enough. Quintessential Kiwi kid growing up watching that. Yeah, it would certainly be a there would certainly be some private testing done first, Mark. 100%. Oh, that was tight. I just wonder whether there's an opportunity once you've been through your internal testing to then use a PC release to get sort of, that mass testing done, and people find, you can test everything until the cows come home, excuse the pun, but something will always crop up because of the way someone uses it or does something. Need a thick skin. I think I've built up a bit of resilience. Read the books, yeah, the books are good too. Absolutely. Oh, that's a brutal edge on that. Fair enough. I go so fast. Several $100,000 worth of farm equipment that fast across a narrow little timber bridge, and you're probably asking for trouble. Right, let's just go and get into this. And just tidy this up just a touch. There you go. It's already looking better, right? It's the first time you'd heard about possums being here and that they were a pest. As cute as it gets, right? Leveling a silage pit with a JCB wheel loader. Alright. There we go. So we'll look kind of what we're up to now. 167, so we have lost some outsides. There we go, it's worked out alright. Alright, let's keep going. The thing I don't want this to do is completely consume everything and that I neglect everything else I want to do as a result, but certainly been a fun exercise so far. Thanks everyone for tuning in too. If you haven't already dropped a thumbs up or left a like on the video, it would be very much appreciated if you take the time to do that. Help support the channel, help grow the channel, helps YouTube share the channel, get more people finding out about this map, more people wanting it, more people encouraging me to finish it. Am I going to enter the full range of the trees to the map? I think I've got all of them in here. Ollie, I think I do. Hey Tate, how you doing, mate? Good morning. Nice early start for you. What are you doing up at 5 in the morning? So some got it. Oh, he does have an adjustable front hitch. Oop. Notice that. Woke up, thought about the new BGA and couldn't get back to bed. It's not healthy when you're waking up and thinking of farm sim. Need some eucalypts. Macrocarpa would be my dream. Some big old macrocarpa would be fantastic. You're not wrong. What did you say to me? You've got a BGA that'll handle 17 million litres of silage a year and what? 16,000 bales or something crazy like that? I don't remember the exact figures you gave me, but it's pretty impressive. Pretty impressive gorse bushes. Ragwort out in the field. Imagine the gorse bushes if you had some like ability to like one of those suits you can wear when you're gaming and it like gives you pressure, and you actually have one that gave you little pinpricks. Hey, hi, how you doing, mate? Oh, Oh, so close to getting that last bit. Well, I've got to say, so far, so good on the playtest. Everything's pretty much working as I expected. Things I knew were wrong are wrong. I haven't really counted anything that's not as it should be. Need to be careful on that bridge, but that's a learning lesson. I might even put like maybe a barrier on the side, like some uprights. So an added precaution? I don't know. Yeah, definitely need to level that. Just smooth that bit there off a little bit. That would help too. Come on, Deutz far. Don't fail me now. Come so far. Just got enough space to turn in and around there. I'm kind of happy with that. Doesn't have to be perfect, does it? Leave the sides off as water trap for FSG. I'll tell you what, I'm looking forward to it, and I'm sure he will be down for doing a multiplayer series with him on this. What do you reckon, FSG and Argsy multiplayer on one in New Zealand, and we could do one in Scotland when the year 1 map comes out at the end of the year. Right, we are moving. Docking pasture, you have to weed spray it. Docking my lawn, I have to weed spray it. It's annoying enough. Anyone know who made it? Some plonker who will probably never finish it, Hyper. You don't want me to finish the map, you got too many maps to play as it is. DJ's Montana maps, your current obsession, and I'd hate not have time to assess obvious. Oh, don't worry, it's a wee way away yet, Barmatai. I'm holding out for Ray County from No Creek Farms. That's what my futures are looking like. Up the interest of it, I both do a series. Would. Well, more so if he does. Don't you worry. We'll make sure that that gets the FSG once over from a map preview at some stage. Alright, what do we got? We got... Ooh, we're going to need just to not quite get all of this in one go. Come back for a little bit, but that's fine. And then we've got that last field to go. I see the trucks and vehicles are floating. I need to fix the traffic splines. Traffic splines are incredibly difficult to do, I've learnt. Particularly when you... I admire anyone who makes traffic splines on a sloped, like, hillside map. Mine's flat. It's hard enough. I might need to, there must be something I'm doing wrong, I'd say. We might actually get all of this in. Where do we go from 66 to 78? Tight. Worse than you think. Need to do a little bit of smoothing there just on that edge. It wasn't too bad, was it? I don't mind it having it should be a little bit higher up onto the road than it is into the fields. You don't want it the other way around. No, not quite. Close, but not quite. That pass I went down probably wasn't a full mile width when we finished the field off. That's alright. Alright, let's go. Excuse me. itchy nose. How did I add the traffic to Southern Pastures last year? That was good. The David Van Mole added the traffic to that, and he just sent me his files for it. Shared that with me. That was all someone else's hard work. Hey Gary, how you doing? A wee Easter egg for FSG that takes the bus. I've been trying to think about how to do some Easter eggs or something like that. I'm going to have collectibles in, like Kiwiana type collectibles, so I want to put a Buzzy Bee and a Silver Fern, maybe a rugby ball. Maybe a little fantail or something like that. Come on. Don't do this to me. Oh, it's a bit lifting that hitch might have worked. There we go. Ah, stuck again. We're up to 270,000 litres. Nothing compared to what FSG and I made the other night on North Frisian. Beach Dasbro. Beach Daz, there's a Kiwiana reference. Not many people would get. I think I'm stock. I did not get to the field days, Gary, unfortunately. I wanted to, but wasn't to be. I've never actually been to Mystery Creek, so it would have been nice to have gone for the first time, but c'est la vie. Always next year. Sticky stuck. Certainly feels sticky stuck. Get sticky unstuck. Here we go. The old hitch, dishitch, unhitch trick. Works every time. Well, 99% of the time it works every time. Stereotypical Scottish NPC. Well, it's funny actually because this is not too far from Dunedin, which is known globally as the Edinburgh of the South. So we wouldn't be too far wrong having someone like that around this part of the world. I've actually been using some AI to come up with some logos, so I've got a there's a pub in town which I'm gonna, well, I've already built the model for, but I need to do some things with, and I might make it a sell point actually. But I had to come up with a name for it because obviously I won't be able to use the branded name or any local beer identity. But it's going to be called the Pukiko's Rest. I've come up with a, well, sorry, ChatGPT came up with a logo for it, which I was kind of chuffed with it. Kind of cool. Love beach dads. Beach dads, bro. No. I blame, don't know who to blame. Can't blame anyone for that one, Nathan. Dave Dobbin's song stuck in your head. Oh, goodness. You can blame cervical lag on that one. It's the Winchester for a pipe. That's it. Now we're gonna have Floyd's Fuel, I think, in one of the one of the gas stations. Bukiko's Rest. One of the or for the pub. Mainland Gas for the other petrol station, gas station. What else was there? Come up with some other things too. Off to the Winnie for a point. Point and Spates, mate. Sure, I'll be able to maybe sneak 3 stars in somewhere that'll mean a whole lot to a whole lot of people without nothing else. Way back when the pub was called by locals Toad Hall, as the public was nicknamed the Toad. Nice. You know, I'm going to have to put a toad on the window now for that, Nathan. Oh, that has to be done. Right, I am going to go use the gate that comes in off the road to get into this other field. We can start from this end. Hello, Nina. How you doing? Great to see you, and thank you very much. It's taking shape. It's taking shape. You know, the most surprising thing is these road markings aren't actually textured, but they look kind of reasonable. It kind of goes to show how good they'll look once I actually get in and texture them properly. Alright, so there'll be an actual gate on that. It won't be just a entrance like that. Alright, last one. I might actually get into harvesting some wheat before the end of the day. Should be good. Soonish. Soonish. Might actually have to set that up as a exclamation mark soonish for any time I'm doing streams on the map and anyone asks when it's going to be released. Or maybe I'll just do an exclamation mark release and all it says is soonish. How you doing, Farmer Shadow? Good to see you, mate. Got a new skateboard ready for your skate event on the 21st. Nice one. Is there any big, tall hedges that are common down south? Not that I know that are common. I'm pretty sure they have macrocarpy hedges down there, because I'm pretty sure this part of the map over here, this farm or yard or whatever, all of these bits here, I'm pretty sure are pretty well cut and pruned, manicured macrocarpy hedges. That's the way I've interpreted it anyhow. So at the moment, should go over and have a look at it. At the moment I've put these hedges up everywhere around here. But all they are is really large scaled up versions of the hedge I've already got, so you actually look at them, they don't look the best. They're not too bad, but they're not perfect. The leaves are just too big. And they get pixelated when you look at them too close, but it's that is anyhow, this is one of the other farmyards. You need to drive in this paddock when you were 8 in a pink Mazda P1600, you're picking up idiot bricks. Conventional hay bales, I'm assuming. Never heard them called idiot bricks before. That's appropriate. I've got the sort of pink flowers. They're kind of like a toy or pampas grass, aren't they, those things? Macro hedges are pretty common. Yeah, so that's what I'd love to, like, again, throw it on the list of things to maybe learn how to make at some stage, but I'd love to get a cool macrocarpy hedge. Like I was out for a walk the other day. I was walking the dog at lunchtime, and where is it? I went past a macrocarpy hedge. There it is. And I thought, I wonder if I can take a photo of it. It's gonna disappear, but I wonder if I can take a photo of it and somehow use that to texture it. But I don't know. We've got lots on the farm I could go and take some photos of. I need a partner in crime. Someone who's clever enough to do those kind of things for me. As I've gone on, I always thought map making would be really hard to do in a collaborative way. But the more I look at it, the more I realise actually it would be quite feasible to do. Now, if you had a couple of people who were clever around modelling, like, for example, these cattle yards, all I modelled was a post, a rail, a gate, and the loading ramp. And then I just repeat them. So the textures aren't perfect because it repeats the textures a lot. But until I point that out to you, you're probably never going to notice it. But like, if you had partners in crime, I could say, right, someone's job is to make that cow barn, that cow pasture, a placeable that we can put down there. And then take all the other models, because that's honestly where I think most of the time's going to be. Or build a house in Giants Editor that we can then transfer across. Right, I'm going to go and back up from the other end, cheating and going across the grass. We've done our dash driving through. Compacted, are we? Oh gosh, how are we 95% compacted already? Surprising. I don't even know if I'm going to fit these through much more in this, am I? I don't know. DLC was released for GTA Online last night. Apparently the December DLC will be mansions. Interesting. Interesting. I need to go back on my list of things to do, and I reinstalled it on my PS5. Let's finish the GTA 5 story off. Not get distracted on side missions, actually just play the main story. Hey Ron, how you doing? Nice to see you. Thanks so much for the storage mod. You are more than welcome. Glad you are enjoying it. Hopefully, I'm a bit dreaded to check my emails, but my poll sheet has showing as testing completed. I'm hoping I'm going to log in today and see that it says console testing. Let's see if I can have a look on my phone. I would love to know that that has got through. That the changes I made fixed it. Oh, do you ever get like, you're checking something and you want to know the result? No, it's still saying testing completed. Okay. Oh, fingers crossed that keeps on going that way. Stella's blanket's almost done. Yay! It's exciting. I'm so excited to see what you've come up with. Stella's good. Stella's she's good. She's getting big. She's a puppy. She's almost 6 months old. She's been missing out on exercise, I think, with weather, and she's been going a little bit crazy. But she's just getting bored, because we haven't been able to get her out walking as much as we should. Which sucks. And we understand it, but she's still good. Update for time-saving logistics is in console testing. Nice, what are you updating on it, Mark? Do you have some bugs you're fixing, or are you making some improvements and additions? Reminds me, while I think about it, some of you might have seen this. I shared it on Facebook, but for the Kiwis out there, I've converted my Ravens Down and Balance fertilizers across to 25. So, undecided yet on whether I'll release these on, whether I'll submit these to Giants or not, or whether I'll just release them as a PC only mod on itch. Not too happy with the textures. I don't know whether I've lost some quality between 22 and 25, but yeah, happy to see that in there. That one's better, sharper on there. That'll be good to have on the map, particularly the PC players. Won't be able to have it on the console. More fill types and altered the number of cycles as it was creating free goods when sleeping off. Interesting. You let your last butterfly, did you let it free, did you? Fly away. The only thing I'm missing here with this is, and I don't know whether they'll adjust it, but typically if you were a milk tank, you'd come into the cow shed and then you'd have like a big turnaround area that you could go around in, and I'm missing that at the moment. I think I'm going to keep without it. I'm going to leave it how it is. Oh, a bug report you submitted months ago has been updated. It's been fixed. Interesting. What was that for? Anther? No, that's right. And they're not allowed to reverse. It's also been a very much a tried and true methodology for tanker driving, isn't it? Right, what do you reckon? Is there 2, maybe 3 more trailer loads out of this field? Look. That's something else I've been thinking about Black Wolf, is how could you make a New Zealand style milk tanker? I was thinking about it. Where is it? There's this truck here, which is a Volvo. I know it's only a single steer. I was like, I wonder if you could put this into Giant's heater to take the logging stuff off it and put a vat on the back, and then do the same with the trailer and make that. It wouldn't be the right scale, but yeah, it's interesting. I was like, how could you do it? And obviously you wouldn't be able to brand a Fonterra one console, but it'd be cool to have a Fonterra style milk tanker in game. Again, just for the authenticity. New Zealand farm cinnamon. Right, what do we got? Go get this last little bit up here. Is there a mo? Is there? Well, there we go. Maybe I don't need to do it. Someone else has done it for me. Good. Take that off the list. How have I not seen that there's a Volvo tanker? Oh, I have seen that, but it's... I don't like it because... And this is me being picky. I think if I'm thinking of the right one. Oops. Volvo. That one there. one there, right? Now this is me being fussy because, and I mean it looks good, but that's all they've done is use that truck, right? You look at the back, it's got all the pieces. All they've done is taken the back off there and put that on. Now, what I don't like about it is, like I said, it's me being fussy. You look at Fonterra milk tankers, and they have like those oval. Show one that's overturned, but from the back, you know, that's, here we go, those ones. They're the oval shaped tanks. They're not a round tank. But anyhow, that's me being fussy. And I know I shouldn't. Yeah, well, I can't be fussy if it's not a tandem steer, right? Because pretty much all the tank is a tandem steer, so. Put that to bed. You with me on that fussiness, Black Wolf? The problem is Giants probably wouldn't now let someone else to edit the same tanker in the same way and make it a slightly different shaped tanker. But you never know. I've heard conflicting statements on that. Alright. Headland's done. Let's get this middle part up and out of here. If we have time to roll the combine over. Make some Kiwi-esque trucks on. Like, how cool would it be even just to take that Volvo and put a flat deck on the back and a flat deck trailer and have a pull trailer and a flat deck truck? Maybe that's what I do. And then have one with a low-sided tipper as a grain truck. Stop sowing seeds in my mind, Black Wolf. I've got too much to do. I've got a map to finish. Not many round tankers. Yeah, I'm trying to pick. What was the round tanker I saw today? It was an Owens freight one, but even those are they're smaller barrels, and the diameter of the barrels are smaller than that one. Sowing the seeds in yours. Very good. Scania roll-on, roll-off hook truck on Mod Hub. You can make a tank that works with the truck. Yeah, could do. It's an idea. The dumbed down one is AI vehicles. Thought about that too, Jason. Thought about that. It'd be better than having a US Postal Service and yellow school buses driving around. One and a half loads after this one, I reckon. The time I've spent driving down this track, I feel like there's too much grass in the middle of it now. Right. Can't tell where I am. Right in the middle of the bunker. not have judged that better if I tried. Ground tanks are generally fuel, LPG or chemical. Yeah, I'd say the one I saw today was a chemical. Definitely wasn't a fuel one, I don't think. Chemical or gas would be my guess. Alright, we're going to have to spend a little bit of time with that wheel loader, tidying that up, because I'd love to get that compacted and actually put a blanket on it. How's the family? They're good. They are good, thank you, Cher. Youngest has been crook the last couple of days, since Sunday morning really, woke up not feeling too good. So hadn't been at school Monday, Tuesday, went to school today, and is feeling better, so it's good. Get to sleep in my own bed tonight, because he's been hogging that with Mrs. Arksy. So I got relegated to the spare room. I'm not too disappointed about it, to be honest. Now I think I mowed, well, this is the thing I need to test is, does that grass grow? I want to figure out, because I've put short grass around the houses, like the grass has been kept nice and short and manicured. I need to make sure that it's the right length to have done it at. It's not going to grow back too quickly or grow at all. Busy few weeks coming up though. I don't know how much time I'm going to have for farm sim. Mrs. Argsy and I are off to Australia in a week and a half. We're away for 10 days, and then we come back for a couple of days, and then we're away for the weekend for a futsal tournament that the boys are going to. Once again, missing farm comp this year. A little bit of FOMO starting to kick in. A little bit of FOMO. Sort of, this time of year, the last 2 years, I've been frantically planning well, everything was planned, but getting ready to travel around the world, I must admit. With all the things going on around different parts of the globe at the moment, I'm kind of happy to be staying home in New Zealand and venturing across to visit our friends in Australia. As a modder, are you able to put animal pasture triggers in your fields so people could put animals in fields? Would that be ideal? You could go down to bring that New Zealand field map. So that's something I'm working on, Andre. Not so much that I can do it. The limitation with doing it for me is I couldn't do every field because consoles have a limit on the number of animal pens you can have. So my way around that at the moment is I'm going to try and create a placeable pasture, which wouldn't be a milking pasture. So the idea would be, if you wanted to get milk from cattle, you had to have it in the cow shed. But the idea would be that you could put let's say a round bale feeder down, and that was all that made the pasture up, plus something to define the fences. Now I know there's Cookie Monster, I don't know if anyone's familiar with him. He's made some fenceless pastures, and I wanted to have a look at how he's done that and replicate something similar with, again, something that's appropriate for New Zealand. So you'd put like a bale feeder down, so if I was going to do it at this field, I'd put the bale feeder down just inside the gate. You'd have a spot where the animal trigger was, and I might use a function similar to maybe how I do anywhere object storage with the hideable posts. So you can have a marker trigger that you could hide some posts with. And so you could position that post so it was in the gate, and that was where the animal trigger was, and then you could put basically a bale feeder down. That was your feed trigger. Like I need to add these fields, actually I don't have any water troughs in yet, so I need to bring those across and add them, but that's one way around it anyhow. See you, Bo. Good to see you, mate. Catch you soon. Take it easy. Cheers, GH. Have a good one, mate. Appreciate you hanging out with us today. And Nathan is off too. Good to see you, mate. Thanks for all your advice and comments and feedback on the map. Being a local who knows this place well, it's appreciated to have your input, and I will certainly take you up on the offer of some information when I need it. Can't go past local knowledge. Right, what are we? Oh, this is 70. 400,000 litres though, it's not too bad. G'day Paul, how are you? See you this evening. How much higher this bunker will go. And that must be the limit on height there. Oh, I had some in the bucket still. Bother. Alright, there we go. It's created some space for us. Get that out of the way and go and jump back into here. Sucks that console has a limit for pastures. You're running a few fenceless ones on your map on Maypole Farms. Ah. Freezing cold. It's pretty chilly over this part of the world as well. Pretty cold. Kelly, I can't say I have heard anything about 2388s. Sorry? I need bunker silo worker. I do. Alright, we'll go get the last little bit of grass because there's not much left over there. And we'll come and see if we can make this look like a proper bunker rather than one with a big heap in the middle at each end. A big heap at each end and nothing in the middle. Lovely and warm here, yeah. Boast about it. Oh, back. Right, a pass and a bit, pass and a half of quality green chaff. One of my that button there. One of my back buttons brings up the map, and I occasionally press it by mistake. I usually get it by accident. Ah, it's our good friend, Mr. Rusty and Money a Gaming. Good to see you, buddy. How are you? How's things in Nebraska? Getting up ready for a working day, are you? You having some ice cream later, share? Nice. Enjoy. Jamie, thank you very much for the subscription, much appreciated. Ah, still. Come and put this a little bit up here. Well, I drove home at 6 o'clock tonight from football training and it was foggy and 6.5 degrees. It was freezing here this morning. We had a good frost on the ground, first thing. And it has been icy, and I'm not even going to the gate. The gate's over here. So it has been a chilly few days. It's meant to be wet tomorrow, later tomorrow at least. Right, last dump, and then we'll compact. And I'll race the combine over, and we'll spend a little bit. We won't get the field done, but we'll spend a little bit of time doing it. I actually set up a kind of wanted to get a load. We might. I'll see how long we can go. I might get a load of grass, a load of wheat into the trailer, because I set up an auger for one of the silos over on the other farm, and I thought we could go for a drive over there. Maybe we can do that to finish things off. Right, that's that done. Oops. Speed racer. So I used New Zealand has quite a decent GIS library that's publicly available, a data library of information with height maps and LiDAR data and things like that. So I started off with that, and then I've used a bit of Google and other things for the aerial images. So there's a bit of a combination of a few things to get to where I am. Hey Kiwi, how you doing? Good to see you, mate. How was your stream? You had a good one? There we go. Let's get up. I wanted to take the top off the intro. Oh, no, we're stuck. There we go, that's a bit better. Good to hear, mate. Good to hear. Enjoy the field days. I must admit, I haven't had the chance. I saw you did a little video as well as your live stream. I haven't... Oh, no, we're losing stuff out the outside. What we want to do. I haven't had a chance to catch your content yet, so I will have to find some time to watch what you got up to. Alright. Happy with that end? Oh, happy-ish. Not perfect, but it's better than it was. Oh, and then I did that. I knew that had happened. Rats. Oh my goodness. Shouldn't have done it. Get too close to the edge and it can drag chaff out of the bunker. Farming Simulator is a completely realistic game. Yeah. 100% realistic. Orcs can magically pull chaff from one side of the bunker and a concrete wall to the other. You've been doing a little bit of story on Judith's Plains, I think I saw. Is that right? Are you finding the map? Are you enjoying it? Yeah, I saw your comments about Simulator. Interested in some of their stuff. Alright, can I get this last little bit picked up? Forever. Could spend forever mucking around with this. Took a good chunk of chaff out of the bucket, didn't it? Now it's not even going to pick it all up, it's just going to push it around. Pick it up already. The worst part is I'll go and try and pick up the last little bit and it'll probably get more. Nice, contracting on Judith's Plains sounds like a good idea to me. Alright, 96% compacted, we're not far away. Let's see if we can get this last little bit picked up. Yeah, DJ's done a great job on that map. One of those people I sort of admire mapping learnings, definitely admire what he's done. Try and learn from his knowledge and experience and methodology and things like that. That's the sugar plum loaders. Feels a little bit like that, Ron. Alright, let's see if we can get this to 97, 98% compacted. Get this off that big chunk. I'm going to bother with any more. If it's not in it, it's not in it. Although that lump is just infuriating. Amazing how little chaff I pick up. Oh, I did get to 100. Pushed a hell lot out. Yeah, it's alright. 464,000 litres. Take that. Bad for a school night. So, next question. Up in here, do we get an option to put a blanket it? We do indeed. Ugly, but effective. Right, how much have we got missing at the front? A little bit at that end. And a bit at that end. Not too much though. Right. That's a little drive. Hey Bruce, how you doing? Am I happy? Of course I'm happy. Always happy. My cow shed I've been working on. For anyone who's just joined the stream. A milking parlour and cow shed and cow pasture all in one. And I'm going to try and make it replaceable so you can use it on any map. Similar to how MA7 has done a lot of their mods. They'll have a lot of placeables in their map that they release separately. Yeah, it's certainly taking shape, this side QB7 farm. I was saying before, this part of the map which we are on, once it zooms out. So this part on the left hand side of the river up here, this is where I actually first started, and this is where I did a lot of my proofing of how I was doing things, how I was doing fields. That's why up here is field number 1. So this is where I start, and people will hate me because my fields are all over the place, but you're just going to have to live with it. I'm not going through and renumbering them. If it annoys you, it annoys you. But like at the moment, I actually have to, I've got all of this area and here's all one as well. I need to go through and redo a lot of that. Make this a purchasable area. But yeah, my plan is to try and finish off left of the river, west of the river. So this area in here, and get that pretty much 100% complete. Because what I do in there with things like finishing off the roads and signage and power lines and decorating farmyards and houses and that will inform how I do a lot of the rest of the map. Set up a bit of a template and process for it. So that's what I'm thinking. That's my plan, and I'm sticking with it. Yeah, the cattle yards turned out really well too. With those. Gosh, this combine's smaller than I thought. This field's a bit bigger than I thought. Anyhow, there should be a fence between these fields. I need to do that. Now, do you know what I'm actually going to test here? Whether I can drop a straw swath. So far I can. Let's try this. AI worker 5 headlands. Okay. I'll back up, lower the header. Right. There we go, we're testing it. Will an AI worker work? I know they wouldn't have in the last. I would have had to have recorded a courseplay course around. I do have courseplay installed. That's on the cards too, Mark. I've thought about having it where I can playtest stuff and then bring it up. Just looking at this, I actually think now that I've seen this sort of planted, I might actually put a little bit more detail in around this one from a riparian planting perspective. Right, so let's go and find tractor and trailer I was going to bring over. Bank Sinatra, how you doing, mate? Long time no see. How are you? Right. I mean, Kiwis spray the fence line. You're telling me they spray the fence line, or you're questioning whether they do? That's what I mean. I think I need to put more stuff up there. The whole idea is it's a waterway and keeping animals out of it, so that's why I think it needs a little bit more. What's happening down there? Are you getting turned around? Possibly. Struggle with the fence being so close, isn't it? Interesting, it didn't actually cut that along that edge. At least it's got turned around in some way, shape or form. Now, I was going to say, I bet you there's a collision somewhere here for the map border. And there it is, I'm right on it. How close is it to where I am? Oh, it's going to be fun, isn't it? We're going to run into it up here. One thing I haven't changed, where the edge of the map is. Might have to tweak this field a touch, or adjust the map edge. Will help him through. Busy with this thing called life, not rolling, liking it, rather be a kid with no responsibilities. Ain't that the truth? Sometimes being a kid with no responsibilities would be bliss. Go back too far. Just carry on as you were. Ah, no, okay. Well, there we go. First issues properly discovered. Map requires adjustment. That's why we're doing this rather than you guys. Still Interesting how it works for me, but not for our worker. Okay, no, it comes, does it come back in again? I'm not sure what's going on. Alright, so one thing I haven't quite got right either is, as you can see on this angle, my map border with the road doesn't quite match up with the road and the under image, so I need to figure out what I'm going to do to adjust that. You can also see actually there's this map of this field in real life. You can see the circle there in the background. This has a big pivot irrigator in it. Would have been nice to have been able to do that, but anyhow. Country Fair is only less than 30 days away and these new president duties are stacking up. Is that right, Rusty? A lot to take on, right? A lot to take on. Right, I'm going to get just a small little bit of corn wheat in this hopper. This is a very massive, this is a huge, wide straw swath, right? That's massive. This is a modded, this is on Mod Hub, this combine. I thought I'd give it a go. Used to see lots of these around New Zealand. We'll finish off by get the combine emptied out and we'll go for a drive over the other side of the map and see if we can unload some into a silo or not. No, definitely not going to be a wall on the edge. I do want to put some trees out further just to filter the view a little bit more. So I'm just trying to figure out what to do with the map boundary exactly. And then looking this way, looking out there, you should get a view of the Southern Alps. So if you were to, let's have a look. There we are on Google Earth. Look at that. Here's the field. I've got the fence going straight through, but it's actually got a kink in it. And actually, with that green there, looks like it's broken into 3. I've only got it broken into 2. But we are currently in here. But there, so sort of straight across there is a fence, and we're harvesting this area here at the moment. But if we go and have a look. Yeah, hard to see here in Google, but there is the outline of the Southern Alps all the way along there. So long story short is that's what I want to basically be able to see, and then you get this sort of filtered trees on the edge and farmland as it sort of goes around. Something there with that. That's kind of what we've got. Here we are. People were asking before, we were talking before about the farm entrance. So that's the field on there on the left we mowed. There's one of the cattle grates and there's the second one back there. So I've got one in, I've got to do those fence pillars, but that's kind of the driveway down into the farm. So that's how it all works. Right, let's go for a drive. Let's see if we can get this over to one of the silos and put it in the silo. So some beacons on. Uses hedges to hide the sharpness of the map edge. Yeah, Yeah, I'll come up with something. It's not perfect. It definitely needs some work on it, that's for sure. Right. Oh, nice, Bruce. There we go. Traffic's floating. I do need to fix that. I've seen that. That's one thing. And there should be fences down both sides of this road as well. So this is one farmhouse up here on the left. I've actually started doing a little bit of decoration in and around. You can see it's got the swing and letterbox, rubbish bin, even just a few little things like that. Just makes it feel more lived in. So I'm not actually going to do too much more than that. Maybe add a fences around it. And I'm going to have to figure out why this keeps happening with the traffic. No other sites seem to have the same issue. This bridge needs texturing because, as you can see, I've got a decal for the road. It actually goes underneath the bridge. I need to sort that out. It's a river. That area in there is a bit of a sort of picnic reserve, freedom camping sort of spot. And then we've got kind of these farmlands and fields sort of stretch across that way. If you went down into there's the main farm shop and one of the sell points. Again, another bridge I need to do a little bit of texturing on. This area in here is a bit of a, on the right's a bit of an overgrown, I don't know, nothingness. It could be a start from scratch type farm with a couple of small fields and things like that. And then we're getting into town, so each of these grey little squares is a building. So I'm just trying to decide how far I go in terms of adding all of those. Sure yet. No, I'm in the Manawatu, Andre, just outside Palmerston North. Live on the family farm. I don't do any work with the family farm, but I have a job in town. It's the old grain mill in there. Building in the background used to be a big water-driven grain mill. That's going to be a sell point in there for sure. Down there is some water tanks, so you can actually go down if you need water. I think there might be something to do with the town water supply or something. I'm not sure. A lot of water tanks. And then we're heading out here. Basically from that way across, there's not many fences and it's all big arable kind of property. So yeah, not quite got the road straight down there, but what's that? We're going in this way, across the train tracks, down into this farm. Train comes from the left, so we won't worry about looking both ways. Yeah, there's some decent sized fields over here. It's still not huge, but definitely bigger. You had that traffic problem on Judith. Interesting. Interesting indeed. Just at 5 AM in Wyoming, you're going to go to bed. Now, that's probably a very good idea. Oh, now we were talking earlier about ground deformation. How much the sand causes ground deformation. I never knew that. I kind of like it, but I'm also kind of apprehensive about where I use it. Right, do we have tip side? Do we have a grain door? We do. Go to that. Now, I haven't used these silos before, so I don't actually know if they're going to work or not. We will find out. Ah. Maybe not. I have to have this turned on. Or is that just completely gone? Disappeared. Might be completely out of luck with that. It hasn't gone anywhere because it's not showing up in time saving stop check. That's the problem. I haven't actually used these silos. I don't know how they work. I think there's a trigger for anything to open a door, is there? sure these. Oh, I bet you I haven't set them up properly. They won't be set up properly in the game somehow. That'll be my problem. It's alright. That's why we're testing them. So it doesn't tell me. I should stand here and it should tell me that it's a Unia grain silo. So it's just put them in as decoration rather than actually as a functional silo. Whereas these ones. So even these ones I can't actually access. And I do own the land that they're on, don't I? The land, okay. Oh, it's good to know. That's why we're testing these things, right? Look at them out now. How many hours do you think I've spent on it so far? Oh, goodness. I haven't spent much time on it in the last month mark, but I was probably spending, I don't know, 10, 12 hours a week on it for December, January, February, March, April. Is that 5 months, 20 weeks, 10, 12, 300 hours maybe? Don't know. Be interesting to know actually, eh? Great to be able to check that sort of thing. Well, there we go. There we go. Took us till the very, very end to find a couple of bugs. The grass went really well, but these silos aren't working, so I'll need to figure out what's going on with that. It'll be something to do with the way I've created them as a placeable, but they don't have the XML data to use them as storage. So that's a bit of a learning for me. And yeah, we'll box on. We'll figure it out. There we go. That makes it all better, Bruce. But anyhow, I think standing up here on top of the grain silo is a good place to wrap things up. It was fun. I've enjoyed that. Enjoyed showing it off to you. Enjoyed the questions. There's the train. Look at that. It's going to be different. I'm not going to have it configured like that. Might be more flatbed trailers. Maybe just a single grain trailer like that. Get rid of those two. And have sort of 1, 2, 3 of those. A few of those. I think we'll have log trailers, but the only way you're going to be able to use the train is to stop it here. This is the train call point, and then use an auger or something to load into it. So this is the loading spot for the train. So, here in Palmerston North, Andre. Ha, small world it is. There you go. Yep, I'm a Manawatu boy. About 10 minutes out of town, so this is a small town. Yeah, Rusty. It's looking good. I'm looking forward to seeing you playing on it, mate, when it's released for console. But there we go. That's first play test on Winchester for Farming Simulator 25. Very exciting. As you can see, looking across there, it looks pretty finished, doesn't it? Look across there, pretty detailed. Just ignore this big blob through the middle with all these houses. There's a bit of work to go. School, that's a school down there. Got a campground. This is actually going to be, this is like a horse arena, which should be more decoration than anything else, but this is going to be the animal dealer. So you load up there. There's going to be some yards over this way that you can, we'll have some animals in that. So put some decoration there. Lots to do, but I'm enjoying doing it. So here we go. You're about closer now. I knew you said you'd move south. Oh shit, this is patience and Blender skills. Blender's, it's funny actually, Mark, because my background, Blender's been almost the easiest part for me. Some of the other bits and pieces. And the work, do you know the thing that grates you the most is that am I doing it the right way? Because there's such limited information available, you always kind of panic going, is this the right way to do it? Should I be doing it like this? How should I be doing this? Is this the right way? What other way could I do it? I don't know. Like when I built the roads, I ended up I duplicated something, so I've ended up with 2 bits of road there. I've now figured out why, and I'm pleased I've figured out why, and I can fix it, but for the life of me, it took me about 3 months to figure out what the issue was with that. So got the demon then started looking at roads. Gave up. Fair enough too. Yeah, anyhow, I'm going to call it quits there. It's 20 past 11. We've gone a bit longer than normal. Thank you everyone who's tuned in tonight. 4 likes away from 50, so if you haven't already hit the thumbs up button, please do. It would be awesome and much appreciated. Other than that, I'll be live on Sunday morning. We have a big forage harvest to do on the Schweizing-Bahnhof server. There's half a dozen fields of corn. There's a really large VGA Tate setup that's going to need a heck of a lot of work done to get it all harvested. So come along, join in, help out. It'd be great to have a full server. I can't remember whether that's a 12 or 16 slot server, but be great to have every spot taken up. So if you've got nothing planned on Sunday morning New Zealand time, Saturday evening UK time, Saturday midday-ish US times, spare a couple of hours, take a couple of hours off and come and have some fun on a server. It really is good fun. But other than that, I will hopefully, we'll see the pole shed coming out sometime in the next few days. I've done a video previewing that. I've also got another map blog that goes through the yards and a lot of what we've talked about tonight as well, just to keep people abreast of where we're at. So there we go. Thank you. 50 likes, 52 likes. So do appreciate everyone who hit the thumbs up. Right. On that note, take care. Enjoy the rest of your week, and I look forward to catching up with you again soon. All right. Thanks. Bye.